Hi everyone and welcome to episode 4 of Teach Tech Play. I'm Eleni Karitsis and I'm one of the co-hosts, and welcome to tonight's show. I'll throw you over to my partner in crime, Michael, to introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm the other co-host of Teach Tech Play, and yeah, another month, another show. We're really looking forward to it. We've got a couple of international guests tonight, so it's going to be an exciting show, I think.
It is. I'm very excited for tonight's show. But before we get started with tonight's show, I think we need to congratulate last month's Play King, and that was Ollie Trussell with Super Quiz. I know Super Quiz is currently one of a great add-on that is in Google Sheets. So I know I've tried playing with it since then in a small scale, but I hope that other people have gained a lot from us having him on the show. So let's get tonight started and throw over to our wonderful presenters tonight to introduce themselves. So Julia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm in Bristol in the southwest of England. I'm going to talk to you about some creative writing. I'm a retired head teacher, also passionate about school governance and really excited about this evening. I've never done anything like this before.
Beautiful, thank you. Now I'll go over to Hamish.
Thanks, Eleni. Hi, everyone. My name's Hamish. I'm based down here in Melbourne. I work for an education consultancy called Notosh. Basically, we work pretty much all over the world, but primarily working with a lot of schools in Australia. I used to work at the State Library of Victoria in education, and before that was a teacher, also in the UK. So maybe Julia and Richard and I could share a few stories about teaching in the UK. But yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm going to chat very soon about some games, which I just love talking about.
Beautiful, thank you, Hamish. And Richard, over to you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Richard Wells. I'm originally from the UK, just down the road from Julia. And I teach in a New Zealand secondary school, and I run an iPad blog, which was in the top 50 of the Edu blogs last year, which I had a big party about. And I'm going to talk tonight about Creative Commons and why it's a big whole school issue, rather than just a subject to be taught. So yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, Eleni, for inviting me and everything.
No problem. Thank you for being part of our show, to all our 3 presenters tonight. I'm looking forward to hearing what you all have to share, and I know Michael and myself have pulled together something to share with you all as well. So we're going to kick off the show first with Julia. So Julia, when you're ready, I'll just share my screen to show 100-word challenge. So when you're ready, let me know and I'll start the timer.
Okay, right. Well, I'm going to talk to you about a 100-word challenge. It is a very simple idea. It concerns creative writing and blogging. Basically, I set a prompt of a few words or a picture, and the students have 100 words to write using that prompt. That piece of writing is then put onto their class blog, and then it is then linked to the site that Eleni is showing you now. And once it's being linked there, I have a team of volunteers who go and comment on the pieces. So that's...
Sorry, Eleni. Do you want to just log in on your screen, Eleni? At the moment, it's stuck on Julia's, so we can't actually see the perfect. Thank you.
Right.
Sorry.
Excellent. Sorry, I will sort myself out on a PC next time. So that's the idea of the whole thing. It is very, very simple. When I started, it was really to get a few more visitors to my blog. Now I'm getting about 1,200 each week, 1,200 entries each week. And the popularity of it has come through the comments. The children love receiving comments from people all across the world and from other students because it's given them a purpose for writing. You know, it's not a question of the teacher standing in front of them and them having to please that teacher. The children are finding that 100 words is just an ideal piece of writing to do. It's not too big, so if you don't like writing very much, it's only 100 words. You'll manage to put that together. If you're a high flyer, trying to hone your skills down to just 100 words is really, really tricky. So it combines a whole range, the whole range within your classroom of abilities will be covered with that. It also gives an opportunity for teachers to teach creative commenting, to critique somebody else's work. I really do encourage other children to go and visit, because the power of peer comments is absolutely huge. It means so much to the young people. We also have teachers from across the world who are using it for homework. It's being used in all sorts of ways, but it is a very simple way to get creative writing in with blogging, and actually motivating the children to want to write, rather than just having to do it because they've been told to do it.
1 minute.
One of the other things that has come from it is the 5-sentence challenge, which is running along similar ways. That is really aimed at emerging writers. But the 100-word challenge, 100wc.net, very easy to remember, toilets and fish, is for children under 16. And as I say, 5-sentence is aimed more at emerging writers, but get them blogging, get them writing. Thanks, Elaine.
Beautiful. And just under with 30 seconds. Now, I know my students absolutely love the 100-word challenge. I remember last year when I was teaching grade 4, I could tell this one student over and over again about capital letters for proper nouns, and it wasn't until someone actually wrote it on a comment on their 100-word challenge piece that it actually sunk in they need to use a capital letter for proper nouns. I could have repeated it at least 100 times, but sometimes the kids just love hearing a comment from someone else. It makes such a difference. And yeah, as I said to you the other day, my students were completing the 100-word challenge in the holidays. It wasn't asked for them to do it. They absolutely love it. So I can't recommend it more. It's a great little thing if you've got, 10, 15 minutes here or there. Just get the kids to do the 100-word challenge. It's a good time filler, especially in the classroom at any time. So yeah, that's what I've got to say. Anyone else want to say anything?
Yeah, it kind of relates to the same thing that I've just posted a thing about my Connected Classroom challenge, where you sort of set up group work where you divide the teams between different classrooms, and you get them to communicate purely online and do project work together, and that kind of weird magical waiting for a comment from somebody who's not in the room, even if it's next door, has a real impact on engagement, and they're really waiting for the response and waiting for the conversation. So you get that kind of Facebook addiction type thing going on in the classroom.
Yeah, excellent, yeah.
Okay.
Go, Michael.
Yeah, so it's for students for under 16, is it, Julia?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Although I do run one for grown-ups on another site. But yes, 100 words is for under 16. Mostly here in the UK, it's children up to the age of 11, but certainly Canada, US, and Australia, there are secondary students that also take part.
Okay, sounds good. I might have to look into it.
Beautiful, thank you. Thank you, Julia, for sharing. Now, I think I'm up next, so I better get my timer ready. Now, I've got to switch screens twice during my presentation tonight, so wish me luck, because I don't know how it will go, but we'll try. So pretty much I am talking today, start my timer so I don't cheat, talking about Google Forms in the classroom. So this year my school has gone one-to-one Chromebooks, but Google Forms can work on any device, including iPads, computers, tablets, pretty much anything you can think of. So how to use Google Forms in your classroom? I use them for testing, exit tickets, student reflections, student wellbeing, analysing and collecting data, quizzes, and for students for preferences when they've got sporting events coming up and things like that. So this is one way I use Google Forms. It is for Genius Hour. I spoke about this, I think, last month, and part of that the students reflect. So here's just some questions that I ask, and it gives me a real insight on what they've learned and what they've enjoyed about their learning. It also gives me as a teacher suggestions and comments of ways to improve it. Another thing that I like to use it for is an exit ticket. We're always talking to the students about reflecting on their learning, and John Hattie always talks about this. And it's important for them to be able to say what they've learned, and is it clear what your learning intention was as a teacher? And I think, you know, sometimes as teachers we don't always make it clear, and it's good to always ask your students, I think, to give you a bit of feedback on whether or not, you know, you have done it clearly, you have taught it and made it clear to what they are learning. Student wellbeing forms. This is one that I love because as a teacher, I sometimes feel I don't get enough time to see every single student in my class and see how they're doing. But by simply having a form that they fill out each morning gives me an insight on how they're feeling, did they want to come to school, and any other problems happening. Another thing is we sent out a form on our blog earlier in the year. The students created a survey to analyse the data. So this was what we put up, and the students had over 888 responses worldwide. So that really made the learning authentic and meaningful. All right, now I'm going to switch screens. So let me quickly change. The time is still going. So now I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up a Google form. Oh, where's that tab? Okay, am I on the right tab? Can everyone see this? So you have to go to New and in Google Drive, and then just click on Google Forms. 1:30. Let's see. Let's hope it works. So in here, you can label your form, call it test. Question might be simply, who will win Teach Tech Play this month? And then you can put in your options, Eleni, whoops, tab down. How much time have I got? 1 minute to go. So it's easy as this. You can change the theme, and there's all these cool new themes that have just come out, so I'm just going to pick that one. So that's what it looks like. Then all you have to do as a teacher is click View Live Form. Uh-oh, can you see that still? You might not. But anyway, this is what it looks like, the form, and as a class you can send the link out to your students directly, or you can also now, what I love Google's done is they've shortened it for you, so that's pretty cool. It's a new little feature I saw the other day, and I think I've got 30 seconds to go. It's really easy to set up a Google form. The kids absolutely love it. They always, as part of their Genius Hour now, my students like, can we create a Google form and send it out and survey everyone? I think it's really valuable in the class for students to actually think about the questions, what they're learning, and analyse it back. So that's just a quick little way of some ways I use Google Forms in my classroom. I think I've flown through that so fast, and people are probably thinking, what is she talking about? But my time is up.
Excellent, excellent. I haven't got as much of a need for forms as you guys will have in the classroom, but for somebody who I have a governor group. I also have the 100-word challenge teams. I have 100-word challenge schools, and I find Google Forms is just so simple. That's what I like about them. It's that their simplicity, that even an old lady like me, you can't really go wrong, and people feel very comfortable in receiving them. So I can understand how great they are to use in the classrooms.
Yeah, and like we even use them for staff, trying to organise things at the school to get all staff to know what they want to do for a specific topic or something. Our principal sends out a form to survey staff, so, and even our parents and friends are starting to use them as well, so it's really easy to just collect data, and that's just the basic. You can put scripts over the top that corrects things, that sends out emails back to people. It's endless what you can do with forms. So that was just a quick way. Hopefully people start to use them a bit more because they're such a time saver.
I find they're really important with teenagers. Teenagers don't want to touch paper anymore. They want to do everything on their phone.
It's like they're allergic to it.
Yeah, really important with teenagers.
Mm. And one thing that's really useful, what I find in forms is, especially when you have a large number of responses, and I think, Lenny, you showed a screen which had a lot of pie charts. It actually allows you to show a summary of the responses for you and graph a lot of the data, which provides a really nice visual way to actually see all your responses. Yeah, and I found
saves
really
a lot
useful.
of time. Saves a lot of time. Alrighty, I think enough of me. We'll head over to you, Hamish. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. Just got to get my screen share ready to go. Yeah.
Just let me know when you want me to start the timer.
Oh, okay. I had my timer in front of me. How's that? No, I'll let you look after the timer. All right. Fire away.
Ready? Go.
Yeah, go.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a bit of a chat about something I actually don't talk about that much anymore, which is about games. And of course, my background in that comes from both in education and pretty much my time at the library. But essentially, I think it's good timing because today I got my my PAX Australia pass in the mail today. Anyone else going to the Penny Arcade Expo at the end of the month should be excited about that. But essentially, what I thought I'd talk about is the fact that that what we kind of need to do is be able to think about games for focus, and this goes to being something that I think both adults and students can do very well. That provides a little short break for us to be able to refocus our attention and get us to think really differently, because obviously that's something I think that for all of us is really important to do. So this is my favourite quote that I've taken with me over the years, which is a favourite of mine from George Bernard Shaw, which I think is something very true about why playfulness is often missing in what otherwise we might say is being very constrained or confined learning environments, when actually a bit of fun and play can actually completely change them. So those three things there, creativity, flow and clarity, we would all clearly want more of those things in our learning environments. And I think that a couple of these quick examples can show us that you know, that you can actually do that by adding a bit more play into that space. So here's three quick apps, and they're all off my iPad, that I think are really useful, little short ways that we can play something that helps focus our attention. So the first one is actually by an Australian, oh, let me just turn that down, there we go, by an Australian company called Cumobius. They created an amazing game called Duet. Really plays with your potential to problem solve and see patterns emerging. The music's fantastic, and I always play it when I want a bit of downtime to reset the brain. The next one is Bleck, which is, again, a really lovely creative game. Let me just mute the sound on that. I won't be able to play all this because I'll run out of time, but essentially you get the idea. Creative problem solving, but really simply done. This is an absolute brilliant one, really creative, simple, beautiful, and very playful. And there's so many different ways to have solved every puzzle, and you could get kids inventing their own versions and get them sorted. And the last one is another Aussie game called Stickets. And according to the creator, Harry Lee, who's around the space these days in Victoria, it's a really good game for testing abductive reasoning. In other words, being able to see patterns and predict them. So Stickets is a really great game that I think is well worth playing to reset the mind for students and adults alike. So I think that we can find focus and we can teach more tech through play. Hashtag see what I did there. And I think that that finishes me out. Am I back?
Yes, and
Yes,
you've got
you are.
30 seconds to spare. Well done.
That was
Now-
rough.
That was really amazing, Hamish. And what I actually really liked was just a simple interface on all the games that you show. So
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember that Great games don't have to have great graphics, and we only can see that through things like the popularity of Minecraft, for example. It's all in the design, and sometimes it's the counterintuitive. It's the simple design that really pushes our thinking. That's the stuff that I really like anyway.
I like the visitor who just popped in the background there.
Those are my kids who should be in bed.
I also must say I hadn't heard of those three, and they're really cool games. I know I'm going to have to explore them, especially for filling in time and transit in between one lesson to another lesson, especially in the primary classroom. I know sometimes kids needed that little bit of break time, so bringing in a bit of the creativity and through technology, I think they'll absolutely love. So thank you for sharing that. Now, next up, we've got Michael, and if he cheats, I am going to tell you all a little secret. All right, tell me when you're ready, Michael.
All right, I might just find my screen. Yep, I'm basically ready.
All right, I'm starting the timer.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so what I'm going to talk about today is creating an app, but how I actually, I have to find the right screen, sorry. How I actually got started was with the new digital technologies curriculum coming out for the Australian curriculum. I was trying to look for ways that make it really easy for teachers to teach some of the content, because I found the wording in the curriculum is actually really dense, and find a piece of technology that students can actually really relate to as well. So after a bit of research, I found a program called App Inventor, which was developed by MIT. And what it does is it creates an Android app, and it provides a really nice, simple interface, a graphical interface similar to Scratch, which I know many people are aware of. So end of last year, they created a new version, which is App Inventor 2, and this is what it looks like when you go into the screen. So what I'm going to do is try to make a app in the last, I think, 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to start a new project, Teach Tech Play, and hopefully it will load up a nice simple interface. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make just an app with a button, and I'm going to add a text box in there too. Now I might just quickly change the text, say press me, and because I want to make this talk, I'm going to add a quick text-to-speech component to it. Now I'm going to do some programming. Similar to Scratch, all you have to do is just drag a few of the Lego blocks. So when I press the button 1, I want to say whatever is in text box 1. So basically my app is done. Now, if you don't have an Android phone, it doesn't really matter because it provides an emulator for you to test the software. But what I'm going to do is actually test the software on this phone that I borrowed from Swinburne University. And how long do I have left?
1 minute 30.
Okay, so on the phone, I'm going to load. It's an old phone. Okay, it's not loading. No. So basically, it provides a QR code which you scan to the app, and when you load the app up, the app will show right there. So I'm just going to press something for me to say. Hello, this is teacher.
1 minute.
No. Okay, done. And hopefully when I press the button...
Go Teach Tech Play, vote for Michael.
Okay, let's try it again.
Go Teach Tech Play, vote for Michael.
Okay, it couldn't really hear it because of the accent, but basically it says, Go Teach Tech Play, vote for Michael. And that's it. Thank you.
Well done, Michael. You had 30 seconds left. So now, was that the one you prepared earlier, or was that the actual one?
No, that's the actual app. I was trying to be a chef and prepare an app earlier just in case it didn't work, but it finally worked. So
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. I know I came across that app at the Google Apps for Education Summit in Melbourne in the holidays, and it amazed me seeing Chris Betcher. We had him on our show last month trying to create his app, and the whole night afterwards he was like, it does work, it does work. And so when you said you were going to attempt it today, I said, oh, is it going to work or is it not going to work? So you did well, but you had a little bit more time than him, so well done. Did anyone else have any questions for Michael?
No, I'll give it a go though. We do a lot of Scratch in our school, so I'll give that a go. That'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's actually really simple to use. The Year 7s that I trialed it with, they basically created an app in less than 15 minutes. And the nice thing, and this is a little bit of cheating, if I was to show my screen again and
Stop cheating.
Show you their website, actually it's a really nice tutorial to get the students started. So it has a number of video tutorials, and if they don't like the videos, it actually provides PDFs on step-by-step on how to actually create their first app. So I found that really useful, and it makes my life as a teacher easier. And yeah, it's a bit more student-driven learning.
Beautiful.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks. I know that's something I'm got to try. I don't know when. I keep finding all these cool ideas, and then I've just got to find the time to incorporate them all into my classroom. But thank you for sharing, App Inventor. So next up, our final presenter for the night, we've got Richard, but don't leave after Richard because we've got a Teach Tech Play surprise tonight. So we're launching something new that we would like everyone to stick around and see. So Richard, when you're ready, just tell me and I'll start the timer.
Okay, alright, so I'm doing this. So you can now see my slides, so I think I'm ready to go.
Beautiful, I'll start now then.
Okay, cool. So Creative Commons, yes, hopefully most of the audience have heard of it. It's a great way to control the licensing of your own teacher material, and it's also a great way to ensure that you're safe when you publish stuff online. And it's a great way of ensuring that the stuff you use when you blog or publish stuff online is okay to use. So the big problem with schools is that we've got kids blogging, we've got kids publishing online, we've got kids going public with a lot of their stuff, and therefore as schools we've got to be really careful with how they do this and what they put online and whether it's covered or not. There's a growing number of stories appearing every year. There's a great one here where this guy found a really bad photo taken on a really low quality phone, grabbed it off Google Images, and lost $8,000 just for one phone photo. You can also see here another lady managed to get over $1 million just for photos shared on Twitter. So this is it's becoming a bigger and bigger deal. So of course the question is what do you do about it? And of course, to our rescue comes Creative Commons. It's a global organization. They're managing and pushing the fact that you should license and use licensed material. And for those who who aren't aware of it, it comes in basic 4 different rules. Rather than having a blanket copyright rule where you can't use stuff, there are for people who are happy for you to use their stuff, they can apply 4 different levels of rules. You must always mention their name. You must. They may or may not allow you to make money from it. They may or may not allow you to change it or remix it, which is what the equals sign is for. And if you do remix it or you are going to use it, they might state that you have to copy on the same license to their stuff. So that's what you can now apply to your own material to ensure that people can use it. Great for teachers because we're nice people who want to share stuff and share stuff between schools. But of course, we do want some level of control. Okay, so this is where I'm going to try and switch. Here we go. This is going to be scary. I'm going to go back to here and back to, where am I going? I'm going back to here again, actually. Right, let's flick the right one. Right, okay, quick demo. So here we go. Here we are. I want to find an image that I am allowed to use that I'm not going to be sued $8,000 for. So So on the website creativecommons.org, I can go to licenses and find licensed content, and I can type in my word, and I can choose Flickr, and it will go onto Flickr into a special filtered area. And I know that these cat pictures are okay to use. Okay, so I can click on one of these cat pictures, and I can not only download it from here, but I can credit the person who took that photo. You can see here that this person is saying that I must name them, so I'm okay there. But I want to take this a step further. And I want to talk about what schools and colleges are doing. Schools and colleges are now publishing and courses openly. The kind of 20th century control over your materials, not like it was. We're all very much more open in the 21st century. So here we go. Here's the step on for most schools. Write yourself a school Creative Commons policy. Come up with a school Creative Commons badge for all your teachers to use. And get them using it, and get the kids to see it on the material that they're getting in their classes. This way, the kids get more awareness of what Creative Commons and copyright is about, and it becomes the school gets to practice what it preaches when it comes to digital citizenship. So that's the step on that we've done.
And that's your time.
There you go. That will do.
Well, thank you for sharing. I know Creative Commons is something that is becoming quite a big thing in schools, and I know even in the primary setting we're always educating students on what they can take off the internet and what they can't. So thank you. I know that Creative Commons may be new for some people. Hopefully it's not. And as teachers, I believe it's really important that we make students aware of it and start them young, so then hopefully it can make a change. Because I know even us as teachers sharing things, you know, it's good to see what other people take and share, and it's good that people are learning, but it's really important that people also make credit to those people who they see it from, because I think, you know, everyone's got great ideas, so why not acknowledge people, especially with images as well.
Yeah, I think doing it as a school is a good step forward. It sort of really pushes the fact that this is a serious thing, and you know, there's money involved, and it impacts on the fact it moves schools away from this idea of protecting their own teachers' material and owning it, and being more 21st century open and collaborative and sharing.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Did anyone else have any questions or for Richard? Oh, hang on, Julia. Go now.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
I just wondered, Richard, what do you do when you find that somebody hasn't actually abided by your Creative Commons license that you've set up? They've just gone ahead.
Well, at the moment, we're yet to come across any technically any infringements. I mean, the main issue for us is that at least we are being open and we're sharing our stuff, like most of the colleges are doing these days. But at the same time, if we found somebody was making lots of money and was using it commercially, we'd feel that we were covered. So it does. It's halfway between copyright and giving stuff away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so
in the 21st century, I think it's an important step for schools to take.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think the earlier we can teach children about safe sharing, the better. I think that it's an excellent idea to do it as a whole school. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had quite a few reads already today. I've already I've done a post this morning on the whole thing, so including all those slides. So on my iPadforschools.org site, you can see the post and get a summary of everything I've said. So there you go.
Excellent, because I can't see anything on my screen at the moment.
Right.
And we'll also tweet that out for you, Richard, your website. So if anyone wants to know anything else on Creative Commons, we can go to your website. Now, it's actually come, sadly, to the end of episode 4. It goes so fast when we're all in here having a bit of fun. But I'm just going to share my screen and remind everyone to vote. So this is a link to vote, and it is case sensitive. So from our 5 presenters tonight, including myself, Michael, Julia, Richard, and Hamish, you can all vote for who you think is our Play King or Queen this month. I know that every presenter presented something really engaging and interesting that people can take back to their classrooms or their school. So hopefully people remember to vote. And no, don't vote for Michael. Don't vote for him. And yeah, and just I need to say another huge thank you to Corey Aylen. He's actually the one who does all the behind the scenes while the show is happening. So we've actually added him to our website now. So if you want to follow him along, we definitely need to say huge thanks. He sends out all the tweets, checks our Google+, makes sure that all of you people watching can actually see. So thank you to him, as while the show is going on, there's too much for us to control that as well. So we need to say a huge thank you to that. Now, we do come to a special part of our show. We do have our next episode, episode 5, airing on the 3rd of November, on Monday the 3rd of November, and we're looking forward to that. But we're actually doing something special, so I'll throw it over to Michael because this is sort of your domain, Michael. So did you want to explain about our other little surprise?
Okay, yeah, so we've been talking about doing a little spin-off for a few months now, and after Eleni hassled me all of last week, we decided to do a PE edition. So it's very exciting. In 2 weeks' time, we're actually going to run a PE edition of Teach Tech Play. And basically, we're going to have 5 amazing presenters from around the world. We have some from China, one from America, and she's going to wake up at 5 in the morning, one from Japan, and yeah, it's going to be a really exciting show to hear what some PE teachers are doing around the world.
And I think the great thing about PE is, even if I know a lot of schools in Melbourne can't afford, also in Australia even, can't afford to have a PE teacher there permanently. So hopefully all teachers can see what these 5 teachers are doing in their PE classes from around the world and take things back. So it doesn't just relate to just, you know, if you're a PE teacher, but even if you're a classroom teacher, I'm actually really looking forward to it. First of all, I don't have to present something, but just learning and seeing other ways I can incorporate a bit of fun into my PE classes. It is a compulsory component in Australia that all students have compulsory PE, and I know that it is compulsory pretty much in a few places around the world, so it would be great to have them part of our show. So I think that's it for the show. Anything else, Michael?
No, thanks again to our presenters, Hamish, Richard, and Julia. Yeah, it was really good having you guys on board, and I learned some really cool things, so thank you very much.
And we'll also announce Friday the winner of tonight's episode, of episode 4, and on Friday we'll also launch episode 5, but we're hoping to launch episode 4.5 PE edition tomorrow, so make sure you pass that on to PE teachers and other teachers who would be interested in watching. So thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks for episode 4.5 PE edition, so it should be fun. See you all then. Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye. See you guys.